Good afternoon. I'm going to introduce my topic, a new moral disadvantage, the thesis and the main arguments for legalizing performance-enhancing drugs in professional sports. Before I begin, I would like to say that I am in no way supporting the legalization of performance-enhancing drugs for youth athletes, college athletes, or the Olympic athletes, strictly for those who are receiving sizable paychecks for their athletic performance. That said, I believe that performance-enhancing drugs should be legalized and regulated in professional athletes. My reasons for this would be that 30% of professional athletes have reported using anabolic steroids, this according to biologyreference.com, and 70% of all pro athletes polled said that if there were no consequences, they would use performance-enhancing drugs. 50% of that group even said that if it significantly shortened their lives, they would still use. The bottom line is that in order to gain an athletic advantage, professional athletes, mostly males, will do whatever it takes to win. Now that said, many believe that the organizations that these professional athletes work for are doing just the bare minimum of terms of testing to appease the fan base at home. According to Dr. Charles E. Yasalis, a PED expert, the data from the last 50 years of testing suggests that most major athletic organizations simply want to look like they're doing everything they can to keep their respective sports clean, whereas in reality, they're simply doing the bare minimum in order to look the other way. His reasoning behind this is very simple: money. Which is another point that I feel that enhances my stance that PEDs should be legalized in professional athletics. Much like the legalization of marijuana, legalizing PEDs would make the athletes safer in the fact that they are no longer having to go through back alley channels. Dosages would be regulated, no longer laced with other things that they are unaware of. Their dosages would be the same each time. They would know what they're taking, and they're able to tell a doctor exactly what they got and where they got it if they have an adverse reaction. This would also become a taxable revenue that organizations like, say, the NFL or the MLB or FIFA or whoever could now capitalize on and bring in more money. They're also going to have to lose money because they have certain players that are sitting on the bench for a certain number of games for a violation. Dr. Yasalis also clears up the misconception that PEDs are harmful killer drugs. According to him, they're no more harmful than Tylenol or ibuprofen or any other over-the-counter medication, less harmful even than tobacco or alcohol in the human body. He also adds in the caveat that everyone's different, everyone reacts to everything differently. That's why regulation means that you go to a doctor and tell them exactly what you took and how much of it you took if you do have an adverse reaction, the same way I could if I took too much Tylenol. For those that are wondering about the effects on our young athletes of legalization PEDs for the professionals, at this point in time, there's already an estimated 12% of adolescent males and 2% of adolescent females ages 12 to 18 that have reported to using anabolic steroids in their lifetime. This is, of course, according to the National Federation of High School Sports. There is also another report that as of 2014, the use of synthetic human growth hormone is up from 5% to 11% in high school athletes. Bottom line is, kids are still using steroids. They're getting their hands on it. Legalization and regulation would also help with this because it would also drive out those back alley people that are giving these kids their drugs because they no longer have much business if there are legitimate companies selling regulated drugs to professional athletes. This, of course, would not eliminate it completely, which is another point that I would like to make. And that point being that athletics are a battlefield of moral disadvantages. Money, genetics, intelligence, climate, these all factor into a competitive edge. Professional athletes will always look for a way to cheat the apathetic testing of their respective organization. Legalization or regulation of PEDs would level that playing field. No longer would they gain the advantage of using a PED. If everyone's taking or able to take without any type of punishment a PED, then athletics comes down to, once again, talent and hard work.